Over the past couple weeks, I've been making emotes for my Twitch channel. I did all of it in grease pencil. After doing all of that, I spent about 50 or 60 hours, and I came up with some tips that helped me make my workflow a little bit better. So in this video today, I'm bringing you 7 tips for edit mode in grease pencil. Tip number 1 is about auto-locking inactive layers. You can do that right here in this arrow on the layers, and you can click Auto-Lock Inactive Layers. When you do this, every time you click a different layer, it unlocks right here, and everything else becomes locked. This is really good for selecting certain parts. I just pressed A to select everything, but notice because the layers are locked, only the hands were selected. This character has different mouths that I can switch between using this bone. And if you look at the grease pencil for the mouth, you'll see it is a crazy mess of points. And the only way I was able to draw all those different mouths on the same grease pencil is with Autolock Inactive Layers. Tip number 2 is about linked selection in grease pencil. There are 2 ways to use linked selection. You can hover your mouse over a stroke and press L. It will select every point on the stroke. Another way that you can use linked selection is by clicking points individually and then pressing Ctrl L. With Autolock Inactive Layers off, I'm able to select every point on this entire Caterpie. That's the best way to color in the Caterpie. I like using link selection to help me do that. So I will select all the shapes where I want a green skin for the Caterpie, and then I can easily color it in all at once using linked selection. Tip number 3 is about the smooth function in Blender. You can use smooth on a number of selected points. Any point that is selected will be smooth. When you right-click, you can select the smooth function. You can adjust the repeat number to adjust how smooth. You can also adjust the factor. What I like to do is deselect points that I do not want to be smoothed. So I will press L for link selection, hold Control, and then remove these points that I want to stay sharp. Then I can smooth, and I can smooth out the shape. And that brings me to tip number 4, which is proportional editing. Proportional editing is the ability to adjust all the points in the same way based on a circle of influence. It's great for making smooth changes in small and large areas. What I like to do is use a combination of proportional editing and smooth. So for example, if I wanted to smooth out this part of the head and make it more round and tuck in, I could do that. And then afterwards, I could use proportional editing to make a more smooth change in the shape. Proportional editing has this option selected called connected only. Now, if I turn that off, you'll see that everything is being affected. Connected only means it will only affect where points are selected. Maybe I only want to adjust this tooth here, or maybe I want to adjust them all. Tip number 5 is about connecting and disconnecting strokes. Up here, there's an option called Auto Merge. With this selected, it will make strokes that I draw merge together automatically when the points are close together. So I'm going to draw a hook. So far, Auto Merge hasn't done anything. But now, when I start the stroke here and draw, if you go into edit mode, you'll see there's only one point here. It merged them together. I can do the same thing over here to merge 2 points to close off this shape. Another way to close a shape is in edit mode. You can select 2 points on either side of a stroke and press F, and it will close the shape with points. Say you have two disconnected strokes, and you want to connect these two. This is different than the example before because these strokes are disconnected on two sides, the top and the bottom. You cannot press F in this situation because it's just going to close those two strokes individually. Instead, you can press Ctrl J. That is joining the two strokes together. Then down here, I could press F if I wanted to. So to recap, there are two different situations. There is one stroke that is disconnected to itself, and you press F to connect it. And when there are two strokes that are disconnected from each other on two sides, you have to press Ctrl J to join them as one side, and then press F to connect the other side. What about the inverse, where we want to disconnect a stroke? Let me show you an example where that's really good. I'm going to create a base for the hook right here. So I'll start off with a circle. Then I'm going to select this with L, and then duplicate it down. I want to create a cylinder, so I'm going to select the points on the top and dissolve them. But I don't want this line in the middle anymore, so I want to disconnect. The best way to do that is to right-click and press Subdivide, so that there's a point in the middle. Then I can click that point and delete it. And now I have this perfect cylindrical shape. Tip number 6 is about temporarily disconnecting strokes. So let's say I have the hook here, and I want to adjust the tip of the hook to move it around. Well, there are some problems. Some things are moving that I don't want to move. Even if I turn on connected only, the hook at the base will still be affected because it's still the same stroke. But we can fix that. I'm going to go over here and select points nearer towards the base. Then I can subdivide and then temporarily disconnect these strokes from each other by deleting the points. Notice because I subdivided, when I fill these back in, there will be no destruction to the shape that I originally had. And now I can take this point and I can adjust it, and it will not adjust everything else. I can move it around, rotate it, and as long as I don't make the area of influence too big, it will not mess with these points right on the edge where I subdivided them. Once I'm done making all my edits, then I can use Ctrl J and F to reconnect those strokes so that the hook is still one stroke. Tip number 7 is about the Polyline Tool. When I was using the Polyline Tool, I was actually really disappointed, and the reason is I cannot zoom in while using the Polyline Tool. The camera is locked. In edit mode, I just click and create a point. Then I go here, and then I just start extruding. If I want to, I can even subdivide and delete this part, and then continue extruding. And as you see, I have complete control over my camera while doing this. And when I'm done, I can bring it back, select these 2 points, and press F to fill. So, in my opinion, the Polyline tool in draw mode is not useful in Grease Pencil at all. Instead, you should go into edit mode, select a point, and press E to extrude. Please let me know in the comments if you want more videos like these, because I have more tips that I didn't share. You can also tell me if you have a tip that you'd like me to share in a video. Thanks for watching.